Good evening, everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, good evening, Michiganders. Welcome to our live briefing for severe weather over the next couple days here. I'm Joel Fritzma. Welcome in, everybody. If you're just tuning in, it is currently 9:02 here on this Saturday evening. Hopefully, you guys had a great day out there. Make sure to hit the like button on the way in, of course. Let us know where you're watching from this evening, whether it's on the lake, in your house, wherever that may be. Um, Other than that, we're going to get right into it here. It's a very fluid situation going on over the next couple days. First of all, we're going to start off with our live radar. As you can see here on the screen, we have our first Boeing segment starting to head our way here, especially for Western and Southwest Michigan. We're going to go over the evolution right now, but as of right now in Wisconsin, they've been dealing with severe winds up to 60 miles per hour. Couple of tornado warnings mixed in there where the rotation kind of tightens up around the back end of the MCV. But other than that, it's been kind of borderline severe for a little bit. So we're just keeping a watch on this. And then we're also going to take a look at our mesoscale map right now. So I'm going to have to switch screens here. So bear with me. It's going to go blank for a second. And again, we are live here both on YouTube and Facebook. So whatever platform works for you. We appreciate you watching on both. Make sure to hit the like button as always. So here is currently the satellite. As you can see, it's a big MCS moving our way. And we'll go over to our mesoscale map, which is currently loading in our DCAPE, which is our values that we look at for damaging winds. Now, anything over about 800 is sufficient enough for damaging winds. So we're kind of looking at this being a mainly damaging wind threat. And that's going to be kind of the theme over the next couple days. And as we forward this into our first 2, 4, and 6 hours later, now you can see that Boeing segment make it onto Lake Michigan about 4 hours from now. 6 hours from now, be entering Southwest Michigan, kind of more of a messier complex there. And then you can also see back off to the west there, another MCS starting to form. Then we also lose our DCAPE by 3 a.m. time frame as well. So other than that, it looks like this complex may kind of weaken gradually as we get over the lake. And of course, with daytime heating going away, it's another thing that could kill this off. And of course, that also brings a capping inversion. So this first Boeing segment that we see right now in Wisconsin may not be too much of a worry overnight tonight. But again, we will be live here on Facebook and YouTube. As always, if something does go severe, going to be sacrificing our sleep schedules tonight for you guys. So stick with us just in case. With that being said, we're going to go over to our day one outlook right now, which shows us that West Michigan is in a marginal risk, as well as the Western UP. And again, this goes until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, what does that mean for hazards or probabilities? We look at our tornado threat first and foremost. Kind of on the low end, it's a 2%, nowhere in Michigan, all over there in Wisconsin and northern Midwest. So that is not much of a threat. The wind risk is, again, the main threat here. 5% anywhere in the brown. And again, within 25 miles of a point. So if you're like kind of right on the edge, kind of consider yourself in that brown. And then in the yellow, there is a 15 to 30% chance of damaging winds. And that mainly includes Gogebic County in the UP. And then as for our hail threat, again, it's not really a supercellular mode per se. So we're not going to see much of a hail threat. Lapse rates are okay, but not sufficient enough. Again, main threat for overnight tonight would be damaging winds. And again, this goes until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, Sunday the 14th. Looking at our model run again, we'll go over to our most unstable instability, which is another thing that we're looking at for ingredients for this Boeing segment coming across the lake. You can see right about here, right where I'm circling on the map there, that's where the Boeing segment is right now. It's working in a little bit of most unstable CAPE around 2,000 joules. So that's sufficient enough for perhaps a few severe wind gusts. And then there's also perhaps another Boeing segment that we'll keep an eye on, and we'll go over here in just a second coming later. But again, this is all riding on perhaps 1,000 to 2,000 joules of CAPE, which anywhere over 1,000 to 1,500 is sufficient enough to get severe weather. And we'll go over to our lightning density. So regardless of any severe that happens tonight, we could see a lot of lightning. Again, all these summertime MCSs with all this most unstable CAPE, lightning is going to be your main threat. So looking at our lightning here, we zoom it down. It's coming into Southwest Michigan, and this is at 7Z, so it's about 2 to 3 a.m. And then you can see our second complex starting to form back there, off to the west. That could be impacting us by tomorrow morning, sometime between 9 and 12 a.m. And then so we'll look at our reflectivity now, which is what everyone is here for, of course. So we take a look at our evolution for tonight. Here's your Boeing segment coming across the lake. Impacts Southwest Michigan, Kalamazoo, Benton Harbor area, south of Grand Rapids around the 3 to 5 a.m. time frame. And then we have that second complex potentially moving in here at 13Z, 14Z, which is that 8 to 10 a.m. Kind of breaks up a little bit. So, I mean, again, don't take this as a grain of salt. This is a very fluid situation, but currently our HRRR model is projecting another Boeing segment here by the late morning hours. So that is your day one. We also have to look at our wrap, which is a component of the damaging winds. So let's take a look at it here really quick. Anywhere where you see brighter greens, that would be your driver for potential strong damaging straight line winds. And this is through tomorrow morning. We could see more with that second line right there in the yellow. That's about noon when that second line would be coming in. But that first line overnight, again, is not working with too much mid-level winds to work with. So again, we're not expecting too much in the way of damaging winds overnight. So we might be able to get through the night scotch-free. But again, we'll be up tracking for this just in case. And so now we look into day two. So this is going to be tomorrow after 8 a.m. Let me get to my tab here. So this is what we currently have. It is a marginal risk for severe weather across portions of southern lower Michigan, mainly south of Mount Pleasant and Saginaw, and I think that's Whitehall up there. Anywhere south of that line, you could be expecting severe weather tomorrow. And again, this could shift as well. It depends on how tonight plays out. So we'll take a look at our CSU model as well. This is currently for tomorrow. This is the latest run. You can see not too much of a tornado threat, not too much of a hail threat, but that wind threat down here in the bottom left corner is in the yellow for 15%. And it kind of goes above and beyond compared to the SPC, I should say, where they have a 2% tornado threat, kind of the same there. And this is for south of 96. And then more of it would be a slight risk on the SPC if it was 15 to 20 or 15 to 30%, excuse me, and it would show in yellow. But again, they're not saying too much in terms of a wind threat yet. This will likely go up, though. It just depends on how overnight goes for us. Hail, also a very low threat there. Now we got to look at our evolution. So that will be our HRRR run. The 0Z is coming out right now, which is our latest model run. This is going to run us through the morning hours. And so this is our latest run right here. You can see that second line now pretty much breaks up completely. So you can see how one run to the next run just changes completely. But we'll go back to our 18Z run because it shows the full picture. And so this is what it had originally at about 3 p.m. this afternoon. This big Boeing complex coming through at about 9 to 12. Still could happen. Again, this yo-yoing back and forth. But that's our evolution. So this is going to be through the day tomorrow. So this is at 8 p.m. Notice a couple showers and storms popping up in the UP. And then we could have a complex pop up sometime tomorrow night. This is expected to ride, again, south of 96 at this current time. That's why that marginal risk is so far south. But again, this timing is going to be all over the place. So we can't give you a timing map right now, but we can tell you that maybe sometime tomorrow evening, south of 96 in southern Michigan, we could see a complex ride right down 96, 94, basically everywhere in southern lower Michigan. Let me just make sure I got everything here for the day two. We'll go over the NAM. Now the NAM, some of you guys may have been looking in the background. The NAM's been kind of our hype model again. This is through 15Z Sunday. So this shows it coming in a little bit later. And then perhaps that action down there in southern Michigan. We'll go to the NAM 3, actually, just kind of get a higher resolution. There you go. There's your morning stuff, kind of pops through. Different evolution, and this has it actually missing completely south of Michigan. So every single model run is just all over the place. And I bet the wrap will show the exact same thing. Morning stuff right there. Redevelopment along 96, south of 96 and 94 tomorrow afternoon, but not much. So again, we just went over 3 different models and they're all shooting out different things. The general consensus is anything that does happen tomorrow will be south and along of 96. And one more day we have to get into is Monday. And this is where we go completely off the NAM 3K. So we're going to start right about 8 a.m. So here's 8 a.m. So we got to go over slim for Monday because that might be an all hazards threat. Tomorrow, going to be more of a damaging wind threat, but Monday, that might be a all hazards threat. So we're going to go over our slim, shear lift, instability, moisture. We are going to look at our GFS probably because we got to look at our upper levels. So 700 millibar map, wind speed. There we go. So this is going to be so this is Monday morning. Anywhere where you see those yellows and reds, that's going to be your 700 millibar wind speeds, which would be indicative of strong damaging straight line winds. And you can see that push in by 5 to 8 p.m. potentially on Monday evening. And that pushes across the entire state. So that's your slim. We also have to look at our low level slim as well, or shear. Match it up completely. That's 8 a.m. Perhaps a little bit of low level shear there by 8 p.m. as well. So shear, we definitely got some, and we have to actually look at a sounding for shear as well. Sorry, I'm just making sure I have everything. We'll go over lift too. I did see a donation from Pacify. Thank you, Pacify, as always, for your contribution to the channel. Appreciate you very much. I'm going to have to go to the NAM. There's a lot of different things we look at on here, so give me a second. Or maybe I won't be able to see it. I lost it. All right. Lift is, I know off the top of my head, lift is something that we kind of have to monitor a little bit because there's not really any big systems here. There's a cold front coming through on Monday though, and that will be your main source of lift for that day. And that's what we're looking at right now. So lift will be there. I just can't find it right now. I did look at it before the stream. I just forgot where it went. So next we'll go into instability, which is going to be the craziest thing you guys have probably seen, but might not verify because again, the NAM is kind of always that hype model run. You can see here the red. So this is going to be Sunday night along and south of 94. We move it into Monday and Monday evening. Now those grays there, that could be upwards of 5,000 joules of surface-based cape. That is a lot of instability. So nevertheless, we could see a lot of lightning on Monday. But we also have to look at most unstable cape, which is about the same. So it's there. And as you can see here, there's not much in the way of a capping inversion as well. So that could mean all hazards are possible. That's one thing that's kind of still being ironed out right now, of course, positioning and whether or not there'll be a cap. So there is your cape. We'll switch over to the NAM NST because it kind of shows a more high res. It's not as, crazy there because it's more defined, but there is still perhaps 3,000 to 4,000 joules of surface-based cape. So that's your instability. Now we go to our moisture, and boy, if you were looking for relief on Monday, unfortunately, Monday is not going to be the day to get a relief from these temperatures, but you will have a cold front coming through with that line of storms later at night. As you can see here, it gets down into the high 60s, but during the day on Monday, you could see 90s in some areas in southern Michigan. We'll go over the dew point temperatures, and dew points will be well into the 70s for most of the mitten. And we could be pushing perhaps 75 to 80 degree dew points. But again, this is the NAM. So we have plenty of shear, plenty of lift, plenty of instability, plenty of moisture. What does that mean? That could mean all hazards on Monday. We're going to throw that out there just now. But again, it all depends. Reminder, we have plenty of MCSs across the summer. They're always going to be changing. They always dive different directions. So what you see right now may not be the solution 12 hours from now. And again, we'll have updates when we do have the time between these rounds of storms for you guys in the future. But this is currently what we're seeing right now. That NAM model run, kind of the hype model run for Monday in terms of severe weather, all hazards possible. And just to give you guys an idea of what that looks like on a SKU-T, we'll kind of pull one here. Actually, we'll go to Supercell Composite, kind of put all the ingredients together just to make it make sense for you guys. So that's Sunday, and this is going to be Monday right here. You can see a little belt of high Supercell Composite there in the Grand Rapids area, and then it pushes off into the evening, goes down as it gets overnight with the sun going down and everything. Instability kind of drops off a little bit. Severe threat will still be there for sure. But if we pull a sounding somewhere in the middle here, we're going to take a look at it, just kind of an in-depth And don't worry if all this confuses you, but I will kind of read it out for you guys. So this is what we look at for all ingredients is slim, kind of take a deeper dive into what the atmosphere might look like on Monday. I know there's a lot of questions going on in here right now, so I will try and answer them, but I just got to get over through this analysis really quick. So here is your atmosphere, kind of like a slice of a profile in the Grand Rapids area. So you can see here, instability 3,000. So it's down here in the bottom left. It's just surface base CAPE 3,630. So plenty of CAPE. We look at our lifted indice. Anything below a -5 means potential for severe weather. We see a -8 and -9 here in the surface and the mixed or mid levels of the atmosphere. For hail reasons, not too bad. I would say average 7.4 degrees Celsius per kilometer, and that's the change in temperature with height. And so that's, if it's, a higher number, that means it freezes really, really quickly compared to not freezing as quickly. So that allows hail to be, sustained through the updrafts and downdrafts as much, or as speaking too fast here, longer than usual. There we go. What else are we looking at here? Shear, not too bad. You can see this turning with height here on the hodograph on the top right. We look for these C's when we're looking for tornadic weather, and we're kind of seeing that right now. This is, again, preliminary, and this could definitely change depending on where the upper level, mid-level, and lower level winds set up. We do definitely see that shear there, and we want to make you guys aware of that hazard potential for Monday, as well as our SRH, or super res helicity. Usually anything over 150 is decent for turning with height, and we're seeing 218 in the lowest surface there. Higher as you get up, of course, as always, because the winds are a little bit faster up there. And let's see, what else am I missing? 3 CAPE. So that's your surface instability, 164. Anything over 100, that's usually sufficient enough for that. And again, it's going to be really, really moist on Monday. P-watt value is 2.1 inches. That is a lot of rain. So if you do get a thunderstorm, perhaps we might see a little bit of a flooding threat. With that being said, I'm going to make sure I didn't miss anything in here. Again, this is we call it like a loaded gun sounding, sort of, so to speak, because it just has all the ingredients there for all types of severe weather. But again, like I said, it's the NAM. NAM likes to play crazy games. It may not ever happen. We got to look at the HRRR and the RAP as it gets closer to that day. And our severe weather risk for Monday shows a marginal risk and slight risk, and that will, again, change and shift throughout the next 48 hours. So on Tuesday, we aren't expecting anything crazy. I know the thumbnail says Tuesday, but everything on Tuesday should stay south of the state line. But if things change, we'll go over that as the days go on. Again, one day affects the next day, affects the next day. They kind of all build on each other. They throw out outflow boundaries. Everything kind of just is fluid right now with these summertime complexes. So again, we got you guys covered. Anytime there is a severe warning, we'll go into severe weather ops. And we got you guys covered here, both on Facebook and YouTube at MI Storm Chasers. Again, if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to do that. And of course, like the stream as well. And this is now the time where I'm going to field some comments from you guys, since I think I've gone over everything here. If I miss stuff, I'll do it, or I'll answer them as such. So we'll go back to our kind of put something on here for you guys to look at least. Surface precipitation. There we go. Simulated reflectivity. HRRR. And we do have the 00Z halfway done at least, so we can kind of take a look at that. There you go. There's through Sunday at 6 p.m. We actually might have a few pop-up cells now off the 0Z run that we'll have to keep an eye on for tomorrow evening. But again, that Boeing segment appears to be well modeled, at least, to stay together across the lake and impact extreme portions of Southwest Michigan. The damaging wind risk will probably be very low, but again, there's a marginal risk out there for that as a safety precaution. So again, we'll be up all night tracking this, sacrificing our sleep schedule for you guys. So hopefully you guys tune in. Make sure you have ways to receive warning if you are going to bed tonight. Tonight is a kind of a wash. Definitely a lot of lightning possible. And again, every county in Michigan, all 83 counties in the threat of severe weather for the next 2 days. Every single county. Timing to be determined. Tomorrow's tornado risk not as great. Tomorrow's tornado risk is a 2% though. So believe that the main threat tomorrow will be the damaging winds, and with those MCS complexes, I would say this is going to be like a QLCS kind of threat. So you could see like spin ups within the line, kind of like what they saw over there in Wisconsin today. So that's why that's there as a safekeeping. And it's a good thing they put that there for safekeeping because, you know, Michigan likes to play its own games. And a lot of our tornadoes recently have been on days less than 2%. For this overnight round of storms, earliest arrival is probably going to be about 2 a.m. And then a second line that I was showing would be when everyone's pretty much up tomorrow. So by probably 10 to noon tomorrow is when that second line, if it stays together. As you can see here, it looks like it's going to break up. But again, 12 hours from now, this forecast could be totally different. So we're playing it MCS by MCS at this point. This first one is kind of what we're watching for tonight. And that appears, again, to be impacting portions of Southwest Michigan by, at the earliest, maybe even 1 a.m., if not 2 a.m. for sure. So this is a tough forecasting period for everybody because MCSs like to wreak havoc on the atmosphere. They like to take out a lot more CAPE values than possible. Actually, right now I'm looking out my window and I can start to see the high clouds coming in here in Mount Pleasant from the storms across the lake, which is really interesting. And we just want to communicate the probabilities to you guys again. Tonight's risk, 5% chance of damaging winds. That is going to be for West Michigan and portions of the UP. That's going to be basically your only threat overnight is damaging winds. If anything does happen in other hazards besides the frequent cloud to ground lightning, it would be a brief spin up, but we are not expecting that at all. Again, that tornado threat is off on the other side of the state, or sorry, other side of the lake in Wisconsin. So again, overnight threat, damaging winds. Tomorrow's threat, potentially more than that. We'll see. We're looking for Monday. We're looking at right now, Monday afternoon and evening. Derechos are possible. It just depends on how long they stay together. Humidity-wise, we could see temperatures upwards of 75-degree dew points, probably. Thank you, mods, so far for answering some of these questions while I was speaking. Appreciate you, mods. Getting into the late night hours here. Might do a watch party tonight. Ryan's going to be back later, so perhaps he might indulge in that. Otherwise, I might just do it myself with the mic. Perhaps some more ASMR later. We'll see. Yesterday's models are totally different from today's models. It just happens like that. cannot start over. Sorry. I talked for like 20 straight minutes. If you want to go back and rewind it, be my guest for sure. Again, the watch party tonight potentially would be for members only. What we do on that is go over the models that come out between now and around 2 a.m., as well as go over the SBC outlooks that do come out at 2 a.m. tonight. So we would probably start that around 1:30 a.m. for those who are our night owls here. Derecho is a long-lasting wind event. It brings a wide swath of damaging winds over 250 miles in length. That's being debated. I don't know if it's 250 or 400 miles. It's just a long period. Yeah, we can start at 1 a.m. I'll probably still be up. And again, it all depends on whether or not there's severe ongoing. So again, if that stuff moving into Southwest Michigan does go severe, we'll switch to a severe coverage. I just realized I'm in the shadows here. So we went, for those who are just tuning in, we went over the next, I guess you could say the next 2 days, next 2.5 days, tonight, tomorrow, and Monday. And then Tuesday would be more of a risk, probably south of Michigan. Yes, if you are subscribed on Facebook, you do get a link to the watch party as well. Again, for those who are new here, we do go live for every severe warning. We say it every time. Just to reiterate, we do go live for every severe warning. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube. It's free to do. And turn on our notifications so you never miss when we go live. My day has been good. I was watching some storms roll into the UP earlier, and then I went and shopped for a little bit. So Jazz, thank you as always for your gifted memberships to this channel here on YouTube. That is 10 to be precise. Thank you so much for your support. Again, for those who are subscribed for free on YouTube, check your check your account and make sure to thank Jazz if you got gifted one. So appreciate you, Jazz. Only have 16,300 of you subscribed on YouTube compared to the 166,000 of you guys on Facebook. Get you to come over to YouTube sometimes. If you subscribe, you might get a gifted membership. What are your thoughts on previous posts about life-threatening weather events in this model? That might be a different account in Michigan, I think, that we were talking about. A lot of you guys brought it up in our chat that people were using very interesting wording. So we will see. But I don't like to use that word life-threatening, threatening, unless we see like the weather actually happening. But you should prepare for all hazards nevertheless. Red Dozier, back at it again with the super chats. Thank you for the $20 super chat, Red Dozier. Appreciate your support as always to the channel. Saying thank you and thank you. Power outage is definitely possible, especially with the main hazard over the next couple of days being damaging wind threat. Now, we are not going to tell you who said life-threatening because we don't want to advertise the page that does that. I would say turn on the weather radio. You live in Detroit. Depends. If this overnight stuff makes it to you guys, maybe turn it on later tonight just in case. It doesn't hurt to have it on as always 365 days a year. I know that the quarterly tests, the weekly tests do get annoying, but having your weather radio on at all times is probably the best method. If you haven't yet, download the emergency app by the Red Cross. That's free to do on the App Store. I do believe the way to accept gifts is under the money button on YouTube. I think one of our mods might be able to better answer that, though. Tigers game was crazy today. I did listen to that on the radio. I got out of the store and I listened to the radio call. It's great. We're all Tigers fans here except for Ryan. Not sure if Ryan's watching. Let's see what's going on behind the scenes here. HRRR00Z has no storms at all for Sunday until that happens Sunday night, I guess. We didn't, the last couple mile runs didn't have it coming through so late Sunday evening. So again, if this comes through super late Sunday evening into Monday morning, that could potentially mess up what happens on Monday itself. So we'll have to watch this development really closely. But you can kind of see how it's just MCS and then MCS and then MCS. And it's just never-ending loop here. No politics, please. Again, we will delete and potentially mute you guys permanently if we see anything politics in here. Again, it's a chat rule. We have to keep it neutral. Joining and subscribing are different things here on YouTube. Joining is becoming a paid member. Subscribing is being a free member. Yes. Can't rain tomorrow. I need to mow. Should have mowed today. It was a great day out there. Unless you were one of the people that got rain over there in Southeast Michigan. There was a couple of pop-up showers earlier today. Dan Ellis with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Dan, for your support of the channel. Appreciate you. And again, we appreciate all of you guys who donate here. Again, what we do here at MSC is all volunteer. So, yes, W. Dan. Honestly, I don't blame you guys if you decide not to mow today. If you did go and do fun activities, today was a great day for that, especially if you went to the beach. We are not going to use the word life-threatening, but we will say that all hazards are possible, meaning damaging winds primarily, followed by tornadoes, followed by hail. Those are the main three hazards that we go for SPC and everything. And then flooding and lightning threat would be like the fourth and fifth. Humidity is definitely a huge component of these storms. That's your moisture, and kind of loops into instability a little bit in your SLIM acronym: shear lift, instability, moisture. Dinky, welcome to our team here, MSC. Thank you for your support of our page. Appreciate you very much, and hope you stick around. What we do know is at least the next couple hours should be, fairly relaxing out there. Let me look at the radar behind the scenes. Yeah, we should be good for the next probably 3 hours, and we'll start kind of eyeing out that Boeing segment coming across the lake. There's actually a severe thunderstorm warning considerable right now in Sheboygan County, which is right up to the lake. So, but it has the entire lake to get across. That's a good thing, is we have the lake. Again, today's day one. Where's it at? Scroll up, please. There it is. There's your day one for today. So this is the overnight threat tonight. This is short term. See, basically, if you live west of 131, you're in a marginal risk for damaging winds. Everywhere else, general thunderstorm. And again, this goes through 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. As you can see here, here's your tornado threat for tonight. Less than 2% hail, or the wind threat is the largest there, 5%, and not much of a hail threat. So again, tonight's threat between now and 8 a.m. will be damaging winds. Tomorrow, potential all hazards possible, but very, very low chance of all three. Tonight's storm to the 625 squall line, less than probably the 625 squall line. But we have to watch it closely because you never know. Ashley, the $5 super sticker. Thank you, Ashley. Appreciate your support. The SBC updates for day one they have weird intervals, like it's every 4 hours on average. For day two, it updates twice a day. So it updates at that 2 a.m. update, and then it updates around 1 to 1:30 in the afternoon as well. And the day three just updates once a day, which is right now our Monday threat, which is shown here. This updates once a day. So this will become day two at 2 a.m. tonight. Again, we'll go over that in a watch party, potentially a watch party tonight for our members only here on YouTube and Facebook. So stay tuned if you guys are members here. But again, it's all weather dependent here. Our main bread and butter here at MSC is always making sure that we're going live for every severe warning. So if we need to pop out, go cover severe weather. You guys just got to understand that's what we got to do. But I am here in the studio. You guys got me for the next 4 to 6 hours. Just me, myself, and I. Can you write up a dumbed down version? Yeah, once I get off the stream here, I probably can do that. Again, for those who are just tuning in, quick plug. We are here on Facebook and YouTube. MI Storm Chasers, as always. If you don't follow us on one platform, feel free to follow us on the other, or feel free to follow us in general if you're new here. And again, for those devoted followers, we're also on X, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find us by searching at MI Storm Chasers there as well. Timeline for tomorrow, southeast. It's a good question because right now the ARRR says anytime around, what did it say? I think it said like noon to 2 and later. So yeah, sorry, I just saw a comment. Don't follow them on the street. Yes. No stalking. Thanks. You guys are going crazy with the hurricane sticker. Appreciate it. That's my cat. Back in Mount Pleasant, though, so I don't have my cat on stream. Sorry. So Southeast Michigan, more probably of an afternoon threat tomorrow. Power outages possible with any of these MCSs. Damaging winds will be the main threat. Jenny with a $4.99 super chat saying, you guys are the best in the state. Thanks for everything you do. Appreciate that, Jenny. Bottom of our hearts. Thank you for your support of our channel and for tuning in tonight. You are awesome. We like to think we're the best in the state, but not everyone is aware of what we do here. Again, 166,000 of you guys follow us on Facebook. That's only like 1% of the state. So if you guys don't know anybody that follows us, we do appreciate if you share our account with your friends and family. Guess my dad's updating me here in chat that my cat Hurricane is out stalking mice in the garage. Awesome. Go get it. Let's see what else. Best day to relocate if I live in a mobile home. Watch out Monday, I would say. Right now, preliminary Monday. We will have to check what tomorrow's evolution is. Yes. So for those who are wondering about the watch party for later, the watch party later will be for members only here on Facebook and YouTube. So that's if you're a paid member. Again, we don't withhold life-saving information. It's just we're going over what the latest model runs are and just kind of waiting and watching the new SBC Outlook come out. And again, once those SBC Outlooks come out, we'll also post them on our Facebook and Twitter or X page as well. Appreciate it, Alicia. Definitely no problems with shameless plugging. Isaac's correct. There's gonna be a lot of now casting. We give you guys rough ideas of what's going on, but it's tough. We can only do one MCS at a time because this first one that's coming through tonight could hinder what tomorrow brings. Go back to our radar here real quick. I'll show you how it's going so far out there. There it is now, quickly approaching Lake Michigan. There's a 68 mile per hour wind gust in Fond du Lac County. That is verifying that severe thunderstorm warning considerable for sure. Tornado is not really much of a worry for tonight. It's going to be that damaging wind threat. Pulling the boat out of the water, staying out overnight, Grand Rapids. Well, I don't want to be the one that makes that decision for you, but if this stuff does dive south, it should be good for overnight tonight. But I would say tomorrow night you might want to get it out. Any boats that you guys have out there, or have them good or have them well covered. SPC stands for Storm Prediction Center. And yes, as Isaac pointed out, for all severe weather, the hazard of a tornado is low but never zero in most cases, here in Michigan at least. These storms are moving. Let me go to the warning text here. 270 degrees at 28 knots. So that is due east at 28 knots. So it's about 25 to 30 miles per hour. Yep. For those who are asking for specific counties, any day between now and Tuesday morning, you could have a chance for severe. Every single county. All 83. Specifically for this Boeing segment, this is going to be mainly south of Grand Rapids. So south of Grand Rapids and west of Lansing. So pretty much in this kind of corner of southwest Michigan on here. This is where this is heading right now. I will say this is turning a little bit to the right. So this could maybe impact portions of Muskegon County if it stays on its current trajectory. But if it dives south, we're saying right now, probably Ottawa, Kent, Ionia County, Clinton County, and every county south of that. This is going to be close. Again, this is a marginal risk up and down the 131 corridor and west. But as the sun goes down right now, we're going to be losing some of that instability out there. These are going to be, so these Boeing segments usually cross the state in about 3 to 5 hours a piece, usually. So yeah, they're not going to be all day events like what we had with Beryl. But this could definitely be like, we could see a Boeing segment come through. It's 3 to 5 hours in length. You have a break for a couple hours, and you have another one roll through, have a break for a couple hours. We kind of like that. It could happen, but we'll see. And again, as long as you know where to go in the event a severe warning is issued, you guys are doing yourself a huge favor and compared to probably about 95% of the fellow Michiganders around the state. Because a lot of people don't know what to do in a severe weather situation. They don't have a severe weather plan ready. It's very unfortunate to see, but that's what we try to do here at Michigan Storm Chasers, is make you guys more weather aware. So what do you do in the event a severe warning is issued, severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning? You want to go to the lowest floor of an interior room, or lowest floor. If you don't have a basement, lowest floor interior room, no windows, no exterior walls. So like a closet's usually the best place, or an interior bathroom. Whatever interior room that you got, it's going to do yourself wonders compared to anything else. Other than that, if you do have a basement, obviously you want to do that. If you're in a mobile home, you want to relocate to a different location because those are not anchored. You want to be in an anchored building. That is going to be your primary mode and go-to. We could see a couple severe thunderstorm watches over the next couple days, for sure. It would be severe thunderstorm. It wouldn't really be a tornado watch unless Monday really goes haywire. But right now we're playing it safe and saying no. But we did want to communicate with you guys that all hazards could be possible on Monday, given the NAM does show that. Every wall in my house is an outside wall. Oh no. I guess, just interior of the house. That's a good comment here. I just saw pop up on Facebook. Larger the expanse of the room, the less structural support it has. Yes, that's true. So that's why closets often are the ones, smallest closets, the ones that survive a big tornado. Bow echoes can form tornadoes, especially if they form like what we call an MCV, or mesoscale convective vortex, which is kind of on that northern end of a Boeing segment. Again, if it's also a kinky Boeing line, you can also see within those kinks a little bit of a QLCS spin up. If you are a good neighbor, if you live in an apartment on a second story or third story, make friends with your neighbors downstairs if possible. Again, we can't tell you what exactly to do, but that would be my recommendation. At the end of the day, it's a judgment call on your guys' point. We can only tell you so much. We can't make you physically go to a certain location, of course, but we want to make sure that you guys have your safety plan in place in the event a severe warning is issued. Let's see what else. Safe and mobile home, Kent County night. I want to say yes, but I'm looking at this Boeing segment right now. Like, I don't want to mislead you. So I guess just be on standby. Again, make sure you have your warnings. The emergency app by the Red Cross, those alerts are so loud if you don't have a weather radio, of course. We'll obviously be live if you want to just keep in touch with our page overnight. We'll be up all night sacrificing our sleep schedule, so don't worry. We got you. Most enjoy about weather prediction. Well, I like the severe weather aspect of it because severe's kind of always been my go-to. I also like seeing good clouds, picturesque clouds. So like anytime we see a shelf cloud or a wall cloud, ideally I would like to see a tornado, not doing destruction, of course, over an open field, just somewhere it's not, life threatening. So those are fun, at least. Being in meteorology right now at CMU, you get a real good respect of the storms and know where to go in the event a storm is heading for you. So usually it's going to be the south side of the storm. So that's fun. Where do you want to go with your career? If this becomes a full-time job, I won't complain. But again, we are nowhere near that here at MSC. I would like to work at the National Weather Service in Grand Rapids or somewhere in the Great Lakes region because I've lived in Grand Rapids or Michigan my entire life, and that I love this state. So questions here. Thoughts on the EF3 that hit Iowa should have been EF5 potentially. I saw the Dow data. I would say potentially. People asking about certain locations again. All 83 counties at threat at some point over the next couple of days. This Boeing segment itself will be for Southwest and Southern Michigan, with portions of West Michigan included tonight. But beyond overnight tonight, over the next 2 days, for pretty much anyone in the state, possibly. And I will say right now, disclaimer, because I'm saying that, doesn't mean everyone's going to get a severe storm, which you should be thankful for. See any more questions here? Moon's out tonight. Just saw that out of the corner of my eye. Grand Rapids is included potentially with this line of storms for sure. Yes, every storm will be a big lightning producer tonight, or I should say over the next couple of days. A lot of instability out there. Southwest Michigan potentially between 1 and 4 a.m. tonight for this Boeing segment, although it looks like it's starting to lose some of its punch there. You can see some of the reds starting to go away. No problem, everybody. Let's see what else. Again, about 1 a.m. at the earliest for these storms to cross the lake, if they can survive. But it definitely looks like it's starting to dwindle a little bit. You can kind of see the reds kind of start to fizzle a little bit. And that's got like 100 miles to go. So east side of the state, probably not as much tonight for at least thunderstorms. I would say maybe in the way of just regular rain. But it really has to track across the whole state. And overnight, it's going to lose a lot of its most unstable cape. So if they don't survive, then everyone gets off scotch-free tonight. But that means it's leaving an untapped environment for the next MCS, basically. We do not know if they're going to die over the lake or not. We cannot tell you that for sure. I would definitely just say 50-50 shot. Your main hazard tonight is going to be damaging winds. Don't make me come in there to the Facebook chat, y'all. Put the kibosh down on that. Everybody be nice. We're all Michiganders. We're all family here. The lake's warm for sure, but the sun is a bigger mass of, or I guess a bigger producer of energy available than the lake would be. I'm still going to be up all night no matter what. It does not matter if you think I'm going to get some sleep. I still am going to be staying up. Not sure about the lightning near Detroit. There's nothing on radar in Detroit right now. Could be an app glitch. Any more questions here? We're coming up in an hour. Again, if you've watched for this long and haven't liked it yet, what are you doing? Feel free to like the stream. Again, no pressure. But do appreciate the support. It's the best way to support what we do here at MSC. We do appreciate any way you guys can support our channel. Blake, I already answered that. No tornado threat. Well, non-zero tornado threat. The main threat's going to be damaging winds. Anything that would form behind this MCS would be what we have to look for tomorrow. If it slows down, we could see an afternoon threat, but right now the models are showing more of a late morning threat with a second Boeing segment that is right now. I think it's formed. Radar doesn't go that far back, but I believe it's going to be somewhere up here where you can see these warning boxes. That's going to be what we have to look for tomorrow morning. So that's up there in Minnesota right now. So that would be around probably 10 to 12 tomorrow, about 12 hours from now. Mesoscale convective system, MCS. If you're just tuning in, I went over for the first 15 minutes of the stream in detail every single day of what to expect. Again, it's a very fluid situation. One model will show you this, one model will show you that. It's all over the place. So we kind of have to play it day by day. It's going to be a lot of nowcasting, so bear with us as every single update's probably going to be different in terms of timing. But as of right now, the one thing we can give you for timing, if this Boeing segment stays together, will be about 1 to 4 tonight. So we're quickly watching that. If you are curious about our model runs, those are again at the beginning of the stream. We're looking at a bunch of different rounds, different times. They all are all over the place. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm going to hop off for now. Be back around 1 a.m. So about 3 hours from now. For those who are subscribed or not subscribed, sorry. Well, on Facebook, if you are a subscriber on Facebook, paid membership, or if you are a paid member here on YouTube, you guys will get access to that watch party later tonight. If this line of storms, of course, does not interfere with that, we will go live for that. So if you haven't already, if you want to, of course, become a member, you can. You don't have to. Totally optional, but we do appreciate it, as always. For now, since this line kind of looks like it's on its way out, we don't need it because it's not impacting the state. But if it does get closer and it looks like it's about to go severe again, we're going to use our best judgment and go live as needed. So, yeah. But again, if you want access to the, well, I'm just saying, 10 of you guys just got access to our potential watch party for later tonight, courtesy of Jazz. As always, Jazz, thank you very much. Appreciate you, as always, for your support of our channel. And if you are a subscriber here on YouTube, you may have just been gifted a membership. So make sure to thank Jazz if you've got one. You guys are so nice. Quake Cat with 5 gift memberships as well. Thank you, Quake, for your support of the channel, and appreciate you as well. Make sure to thank Quake if you got a membership from them. You guys are very nice. It's kind of like the take one, pass it on sort of thing. So five more of you guys may have just gotten access to our watch party for tonight. Again, I'm about to end the stream here. You guys can still, gift memberships and whatnot after the stream's over with. Don't worry about that. Or join when the stream's over with as well. We just won't be able to shout you out, of course. But those are there. Again, we will share the link to you guys later tonight if needed. And that'll be about 1 a.m.-ish when we jump in for the live part, or for the live watch party. It's more of a personal stream, so it's kind of just like a chat session. You get to talk with me, and I'll be up on here. For those who remember in the past, sometimes I whisper into the mic, and people go crazy over it for some reason. So if that's your cup of tea, feel free to join the watch party later. But yeah, I'll be here. Ryan will be back later tonight. He might jump in as well. Just depends. So with that being said, like the stream if you haven't already. Share the page with anybody. Again, we might be in for, a crazy 48 hours. We'll see. So if you don't know anyone that follows our page, feel free to share our page with them. We're here for every single live warning. As always, you never know what a share could do if you don't know anybody. So again, we appreciate it as always. We're here on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Twitter. But again, we are live stream exclusive here on Facebook and YouTube. So you want to make sure to hit that follow button and turn on post notifications for that. But with that being said, I'm going to jump off for a little bit. Let my voice rest a little bit here. I've been talking straight for an hour. Usually got to save it for, potential severe weather coverage later tonight. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, if you want to check out other ways to get in contact with us, the link tree is shared here in the YouTube description. Thank you, Julie, for that. You can buy us stuff off our Amazon wish list if you want. Everything there on our Amazon wish list goes to good use, and it's stuff we need for our streams if we truly want to become like really, really great. But again, totally optional if you want to. But yeah, so I'm gonna head off. You guys stay safe out there. We will continue to track this Boeing segment behind the scenes, and we will go live if severe is necessary. Otherwise, I'll see you guys members later tonight at our watch party if all things are all clear. So with that being said, I'm out of here. You guys have yourselves a good night.